And joining us on the line from Canada, it's great to catch up with him again. We've got Dan Davidson. G'day, Dan. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Clayton. It's good to chat with you, man. It's been a while.
It certainly has. Well, last time we spoke was about your song "Roll With It" that you did with the Roadhammers, a song that we loved here on Flow. So that's been quite a while. So how's things been going since then? I'm gathering that you're surviving the COVID situation at the moment, which we all love, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, getting through it. We're still getting creative and finding ways to just stay productive and making sure we're making it interesting for the fans, even when, there's not as many shows and opportunities to interact in person. We're still finding ways to keep it interesting.
And what are some of those ways? Because it must be challenging to try and still be creative, still engage with the fans, still have that interaction and that sort of response that you need to get from them to stay alive and keep your career going. So how challenging is it? Do you sit there, yourself thinking up ideas, or you sort of bounce ideas off the wall with other people, or do you just throw something at the wall and see what happens? I mean, how's it working for you?
Well, yeah, at first when everything went down, me and a couple close friends, we just kind of put together. We saw people online doing their thing and doing these house concerts digitally, and we just thought there's got to be a better way to do that. And so we came up with the world's first digital music festival, and we got like 50 of the biggest artists in Canada. And we put together this show where I was kind of the host, and I was throwing it to different artists and performing and doing contests. And it was really cool. It was something that hadn't been done before, and we had like 60,000 viewers, and we raised about $60,000 for this charity called Unison that supports people that work in the music industry on the backside of things. So that was really satisfying, and from there we turned that into a hotel music festival where we're sold out a hotel and set up a stage kind of on the pool deck area where all the rooms look down.
Yep.
And so that was a really cool thing. And other than that, I've just been elbow deep in the studio writing for myself and writing for other people and producing and all different genres. So, between finding ways to still contact with the fans and create music, it's actually kept me pretty busy.
Wow, there's some great ideas there. So any of our artists listening, there's a couple they can maybe even think about. The hotel one, I think, is a brilliant one, because there's lots of places around here, there's sort of motels that they have this wonderful little space in the middle, and they seem to be like a big U shape, and that can be taken advantage of. So that's a good idea. I think that's brilliant. Well done for that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, people really loved it. And it was just a way to see live music without, you're still distanced and all that stuff, but it's actually you're experiencing it in person still in a way. So that was really cool.
You said that you've been writing and producing different genres. So, a country rocker. So how do you go if someone wants to come in and do a real, a poppy rap style thing? How do you cope with that?
Well, what's so funny is recently, I have a publishing deal, so my publisher has me writing for all different kinds of projects, and I was writing for some Korean pop bands recently, and I got to tell you, turning off my, 30-year-old country music brain and channeling my inner 14-year-old Korean girl is often quite a challenge, but it's a real refresher,
Oh, how did you go with that? That's incredible. Wow, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I always laugh at myself when I'm doing these songs and these demos, and then I listen back and I'm just like, oh, I think I love this. What's wrong with me?
You're a songwriter, and that's it. That's what you got to do. So sometimes you've got to tap into your 14-year-old self to come up with something. So I think it's great. Good on you for doing that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, it actually really helps my country writing, because just turning off the things that I do as, almost my natural reactions or my crutches in country music, they get erased every time I switch to a new genre and I have to think about things in a new way. So it really helps me come back with a fresh perspective when I want to jump back into my country stuff.
Well, I was wondering that. So, you just explained that was going to be my next question to you. So that if it was going to enhance or help it, and it certainly is doing that for you, and I dare say it would give you different ideas and angles to come up with different songs as well. Is it when you're thinking in that way and writing those songs, are you then writing them for you or for others in the country area?
A lot for me, but I have, I've been working really closely with the Roadhammers, and produced half of their record and wrote a few songs there, and also working with some other country artists that actually, have started getting some attention in Australia. Guys like Tim Hicks and Gord Bamford, so it's been a lot of fun, and I feel like I'm really at a level where I'm getting great sessions with great artists, and it always just gets better from there.
It certainly does. Now, you mentioned Australia there, and your current song at the moment that we're going to be hearing shortly, it's with someone that we love here at Flow, Hayley Jensen. So tell me, how did you, and it's a drinking song with Hayley, which you don't want to get in a drinking competition with Hayley. I'm giving you the warning now. You may already know, but I'm just letting you know now. But just how did the two of you get together? How did this all come about?
Well, first off, I'm just such a fan of Hayley. Like, she's just, she's got such an energy about her. She's such a great, nice person and such a talent that, I don't know how it happened, but I accidentally found myself in a writing session over Zoom with Hayley, and I co-wrote a couple songs for her upcoming record and ended up producing a couple songs on it. And we just really got along and creatively kind of clicked. And so I figure, following up my first release in Australia, which was Roll With It, that did so well, I thought, like, what better time to release this duet that I wanted to do than right now with one of my favorite Australian artists. And it's a fun, not sappy duet, and it's a drinking song, and it's heading into Australian spring, summertime. So I just think the stars are really lining up for me on this one.
It is, and we love our drinking songs in summer here in Australia, as I'm sure you Canadians are familiar with. But anyway, that's another thing. And the song's called "Really Shouldn't Drink Around You." And so, was this something that you wrote, or how did the actual song itself come to you?
Well, this is actually an interesting one because it's the first song I've ever cut that I don't have a writing credit on. Usually, I'm a writer on all my stuff, but a couple of years ago, I was pitched this song by some Nashville publishers. And I just jumped at it because it has such a star-studded cast of songwriters on it. It's got Trevor Rosen from Old Dominion and Shane McAnally, who's written pretty much all of the biggest hits from Nashville, and Josh Osborne, who's just another massive, heavy songwriter in Tennessee. So, to come across a song like that is really rare, and it just fit my vibe, and I just loved it. So, I went for it. For the first song I've ever recorded that I wasn't a writer on, and I'm really glad I did because it feels right at home to me.
Well, you and Hayley do a great version of it, and I know the fans are going to enjoy it when they get to hear it in just a sec. And I love a couple of lines, and especially the one about there's no such thing as gin and platonic.
I know, doesn't that just sound like a T-shirt? I love it.
It does. That should be on a T-shirt, really, because that is absolutely brilliant little line, and it's so true. That's the scary thing.
Oh yeah.
Now, Dan, I noticed on your YouTube channel that you were recently at the Calgary Stampede, so obviously you're doing some sort of gigs and getting out amongst us all again. So how was that experience, and was there, I guess for something that our artists and all of us are going to get to learn over here, how was dealing with all the COVID side of it? Was there, you had to be checked to get in and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. I mean, I live in what I like to call the Texas of Canada. So there's a lot of non-rule followers, and it's pretty Wild West out here, but that was a Calgary Stampede pulled it off really well. They had rapid testing and they had proof of vaccination, I believe, to get in. And so, going from seeing people play in their living rooms in their pajamas all winter long and then heading into Canadian summer and going to one of the biggest country shows in Canada, the Calgary Stampede, playing for thousands of drunk people, it was exactly what I wanted to do. It felt like a little taste of everything I love about playing in the summertime. It was hot out and people were just smiling and just ready to dive headfirst into music again. It just charged my battery. That's all. Only way I could put it.
They're good, and it sounds good. And folks, they weren't drunk. They were liquid happy, we could say.
Yes, that's what it is. Liquid happy.
Yes, they were liquid happy. And so the reaction from the crowd, was that, comparing to where, performing previously at the Calgary Stampede, was the reaction sort of greater, the energy was greater because the whole thing gets taken away from you and now we're back? How did you notice the crowd reaction?
Yeah, it was just that. I think the country fans were hungry to see live bands again, and all the bands that I saw walking around backstage, everyone just had a smile from ear to ear. It was just like everything that we were hoping to get out of that was right there. It was the energy, the crowd screaming back, all the lyrics, and everyone's packed right up to the rail, front row. It's just it was amazing. I started to realize how much I take that stuff for granted and how much I'm looking forward to next summer.
Yes. Well, what's coming up for you next then, Dan? Obviously, the touring, I guess, coming to Australia might be a bit difficult, but what's it like where you are? Are you going to be doing extra shows over the next few months leading into your winter and Christmas time?
Yeah, actually, I have some studio time booked. I'm working on my next record, sort of at the end of the month and probably into November a little bit. But I do have a few shows kind of booked around my home province. Yeah. Shows are happening more last minute these days. You know, it used to be that you could book a show 6 months out, but now things change so fast. You know, I was supposed to be in Europe right now, actually playing in Spain and France, but that got canceled. Yeah. So, it gives me a little time to regroup and work on the record. But there are shows and cabarets, and there's a Canadian Finals rodeo show that I'm going to be doing coming up here. So I'm making sure that I'm not getting rusty. That's for sure. I got to make sure I'm in shape for next year's Tamworth Music Festival.
Yes, very much so, and I dare say you'll be looking forward to performing this song live with Hayley too.
Oh, I am dying to do that. I think that would be so much fun. I was really hoping I could get down there this January for the 50th anniversary of Tamworth. I thought that would be such a cool way to introduce myself to Australian country fans, but I think it might have to wait a little while longer, unfortunately.
However long, we'll be patient, mate. We can be patient here. We'll wait for you. So don't worry.
I appreciate it.
We're prepared to wait. Well, Dan, it has been fantastic chatting to you again. I always enjoy it. And this is a great song. I know the folks are going to absolutely love hearing it. And I look forward. Is there any other sort of possibilities with some other Aussie artists that you might get together on? Is that something that may happen or you're looking into, or what's the situation there?
Oh, I would love that. I'm still meeting people in the Aussie scene, and everybody I've met's been so cool. But I guess it was just that I had such a good connection with Hayley that we dove in on it. So hopefully we'll see more collaborations down the line. Well, there is one actually in the queue here. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it yet.
Mate, it's just me. It's just you and me. You can tell me. It's okay. It won't go anywhere.
I would tell you off air for sure.
Oh, okay. I tried, folks. I tried. Anyway, Dan, it has been great chatting to you. We've got your new song here that features our very own Hayley Jensen. We love her and we love you as well. If you could please introduce the track for us. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Please take care, and hopefully we'll be chatting again soon.
Oh, thanks so much, Clayton. I really appreciate you taking the time, man. All right, here it is, folks. This is Dan Davidson calling all the way from the Canadian prairies, and this is my new song, Really Shouldn't Drink Around You, featuring one of Australia's finest, Hayley Jensen.
Be honest, there ain't really no such thing as gin and platonic. A1 is gonna turn into 2, is gonna turn into you and me at 2:45 with 4 boots under the bed. Yeah, you know where it's headed to. I really shouldn't drink around you. It's a risk, it's a gamble, a little more than I can handle. Just a touch of a buzz is enough to get me thinking things I really shouldn't think about you. We end up on the fast track, getting back to where we left the past at. I think I would've learned my lesson by now, but I never do. I really shouldn't drink around you. Yeah, I know what's gonna happen if we order another shot. Muster up the strength that I haven't got. Yeah, wine is gonna turn into wine now, turning the lights off, blurring the lines, and in no time we're doing things that friends don't do. Really shouldn't drink around you. It's a risk, it's a gamble, a little more than I can handle. Just a touch of a buzz is enough to get me thinking things I really shouldn't think about you. End up on the fast track, getting back to where we left the past at. Think I would've learned my lesson by now, but I never do. I really shouldn't drink around you. You say that we can be friends, but hey, let's be honest. There ain't really no such thing as gin and platonic. I really shouldn't drink around you. It's a risk,